Hi there, I'm Eureka, Chris and Vadic's twin flame. We're here to do a reading for Cancers for April. As a Cancer, I feel like while I might not be as intuitively guided as Chris and Vadic is, I do think I'm somewhat of an expert. And we're going to look at the 12 houses for Cancer in April and see just how things are going to play out for you. Alright, so we're going to start with our first house. And we're going to see what we have going. Alright. We have the Two of Coins. That's going to mean that you're going to be sort of juggling your sense of self. You might have a little bit of difficulty understanding who you are, specifically in April. Some events in April might have, something going on where you might be questioning yourself a little bit, and it's just part of life, We all play a juggling act, and sometimes when we think about ourselves, our thoughts do get a little bit disconnected, but it is something that the cards are telling you that you should be looking for in the coming month. And that's life and self. In the second house, which is wealth and prosperity, we have the Fool. The Fool is a card of anything. It's a card of possibility. When it comes to your finances, things about your worth, and anything, even with wealth, we have to understand that there's the material world and then there's the emotional world. So even though this house governs material possession and wealth, we also have to think of, ourselves and our worth to ourselves as well. I think that's very, very, very important. See Daisy. There we go. Let's make sure you can see all these beautiful cards here. So we're coming up on the third house. The third house, as we all know, is it's an interesting one. It's about siblings and neighbors, things of that nature. And for that we have the prosperity, which ties in a lot with the second house. A lot of the houses are connected close to each other, and with this, it means that when it comes to neighbors and other people, you're probably going to be able to communicate a little better next month. This month you might have had a little bit of a trouble talking to people, understanding what's going on, things of those nature, but it's okay. Because moving into the next month, we're going to be able to communicate a little bit better as Cancers. And playing with the Fool and possibility, there might be a great windfall coming, Whenever there's prosperity with communication and unlimited potential, who knows what could play out for you. So be very aware. This month is shaping up to be very good for us Cancers here. The fourth house is the house for Cancers. It's also the house of home, and for that we have the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups tells us everything's going to be all right this month. You should be having a good life at home. Your emotions should be very secure. The cup runneth over, as they say. So your home life should be very stable. For a lot of us this month, we might not have had a stable month. We might be looking at things and thinking, all these things I just went through. Coming up here with a full month of spring, it's time for new beginnings, and hopefully those new beginnings are going to mean a much better home life. Moving into the fourth house is your family. And for that, we're going to have the Sun. Now, the Sun is a fire card, and Cancers are water. But even with the sun shining, it just means the water is going to be more beautiful. So, the fifth house is, fifth house is all about, children, speculations, risk, your hobbies, all that kind of stuff. And take a rest this month. You've got unlimited potential, prosperity, your cup runneth over. So it shouldn't be that much of a stretch for you to be able to take a few risks this month. With stability and with all of that showing in the cards, we just have to understand that, you might want to take a risk this month. That's a very masculine card. It's got some very masculine energy in it. Um, and this card showing up, we have a lot of feminine energy cards here. So we can't forget the masculine identity within ourselves. It's just not something that we need to be doing. The sixth card is all about your career. And I know a lot of you are excited to hear how that's going to play out. Whew, boy. These cups, they runneth over. Let me tell you. Work's going to go well for you, This is a month of stability so far. This is a month of potential. This is a month of just, happiness. And, as you can see, it aligns straight with the sun. They're both very similar in color, and they're both very similar in purpose. Work's going to go well. One thing I can tell you with this card showing up is that when you're at work, let your imagination flow. A lot of times we're all conformists, your manager's hounding you, you're being told to push, 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 and you feel like your imagination is just zapped from you. And, this is the month where it might be time to think a little bit out of the box, Even though all of these cards so far are very positive, there is the message that we have to understand, and that, with positivity comes alertness, and you should definitely be letting your imagination run a little bit wild, especially with anything involving your career, or work specifically. Alright, well, let's see. We are moving into the next house now, which is the 7th house. And here we have the Queen of Cups. Woo! As you know, the Queen of Cups rules Cancer, so when she shows up, we know we have her blessing. The Queen of Cups is telling us that, when it comes to our partner, this is the 7th house is the partner house. When it comes to your partner, just understand that nurture, care, and this might be a month with all of the stability to start working on building your psychic relation with that special someone in your life. Moving on into the 8th house. The 8th house is all about reincarnation. And let's see what we're going to be pulling up here now. You're going to be working for it. When it comes to sex this month, you're probably going to have to work a little bit harder than previous months. So even though everything in your house is stable so far, you're probably going to have to be working a little bit harder. Naturally, April, taxes. This is the house that governs taxes. You're going to be probably working on those at the last minute, aren't you? We Cancers, we keep that stone face going, but, there's problems at home, and you're going to have to do a little bit of work, especially when it comes to taxes. So be prepared for that. You're probably going to be filing them the last minute. No judgment here. Just be aware that if you do, you're going to be working. You're going to be working pretty hard. Alright, moving into the 9th house. The 9th house is all about philosophy. And traveling and forecasting, the future, higher mind. And for that we have the Page of Wands. We have spring coming up, and the Page of Wands is all about, having fun. That's at least how I'm seeing it. So this is definitely the month for you to be having some fun. Alright, let's move on to 10. 10 is all about social status. It's all about your career, your profession, your ambition, and let's see what we have going. More stability. Even more stability, guys. This is a stable month for Cancers, let me tell you. Very, very, very excited for April. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be great. Stable careers, stable everything. Feel happy. This is a month of happiness. The Knight of Coins, or the Knight of Pentacles, tells us to, maybe we need to look at a little bit things, a little bit minuscule, maybe pull out the magnifying glass, but it is all about nurturing and stability and all of that good stuff. The 11th house is all about your friends, and for your friends, you knew some bad news was going to be coming. Think carefully this month with your friends. Think very, very carefully. You're going to want to think a little bit before you do. And your friends might be thinking a little bit before they do as well. So, with stability comes envy. You might get a raise. You might get a promotion this month, but your coworkers might be thinking, "Whew, I don't know about him. I don't." And you're probably going to be thinking everything's the same, but maybe it's not. So, a little bit of warning, As you know, we are being blessed by the Queen of Cups. And if she is saying, think before you do, think before you do. Especially with your friends. Alright, let's move into the 12th house, the unknown. On the surface, you think, whew, knockout month, but no. This is about thinking before you do. And this is about appreciating what you have. Okay? That's exactly what this is about. Appreciate what you have. Because, some things are going to be out of your control this month. You're going to have the stability. You're going to have the blessings. You're going to want to think a little bit before you do. But, you're still not going to have, control of literally everything. Cancers love control. And whenever that shows up in mystery, it means that something might happen this month. Good or bad, that's out of your control. We just have to be prepared for it. Chris, what do you think?
Well, I see this month going really, really positive for you guys. Really what I'm seeing in the cards is that the start's going to be really, really fun. You may be thinking like, oh wow, this is super duper good. This is like the most fantastic thing ever. But really what I'm seeing is that whenever you get to about the middle of the month, it's going to start getting better. That's really good. And the only thing that's strange is whenever I look through this is that you're going to be kind of working a little bit harder towards the end of the month. And you're going to end up the month thinking in your head, wow, things are kind of getting in balance again. You're going to be thinking in your head, it almost feels like this blindfold that's been on me for maybe a few months prior, or for the earlier on in the month. It's actually starting to get removed. This thin little veil that's kind of been in my eyes, and I'm actually able to see what's going on ahead of time, and what's going to be ahead of me towards June. Is it June? June's the next month. May. Yeah, and I'm seeing really in terms of the unknown. What I'm really seeing from here is that you're actually going to be able to reap what you've sown. It's almost like the bounty, the harvest that you've been able to do. You're actually going to be able to pick it. Now, depending on how much work you've actually put in since the beginning of, I'm going to say January is what I'm getting. From the amount of work that you've put in, well, now it's time to sow it. So now it's time to actually get the fruits of your labor. So how hard have you worked, honestly? That's really going to depend on how much you get. That's really, really a neat thing for some of you. Some of you, maybe you might want to kind of cram a little bit more work in if you want to get a little bit more out of it. But overall, I'm really seeing this to be a really, really fun month. Not really much can really go wrong for you. You're really going to be in for a big treat, is what I'm getting. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
All right, and the number that'll be guiding you guys this month?
That's 4.
4. Expansion. This is going to be a month of expansion for you. This is a month for you to spread those wings and fly, guys. Crabby crabs might not fly, but sometime or another, you do have to take the lead. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful month, guys.
Yeah, thank you. It definitely looks like it's going to be a good month. And we'll see you guys in a bit, or later on, next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.